the latest guidance from our friends, the galactic and angelic beings known as the Collective. Greetings, Light Warriors. We are glad to have this chance to speak with you again today. You are, all of you, with varying degrees of awareness, swimming in what our writer has called the powerful tidal wave of eclipse energies. Some of you feel knocked down by the high, DNA shifting nature of these frequencies, as if you were being lifted up out of the old physical, mental, and emotional structuring, released from it in some ways, and torn away from it in other ways. We would say that all who are ascending now are experiencing this upward shift of what one might call electromagnetic frequencies, amongst other vibrations, and that these affect the human body on a cellular level, from the very base of your physical molecular makeup to the soul presence within each of you. This is an arduous journey, most assuredly. You are experiencing several things at once: the release of old forms of eating, sleeping, physical actions or inaction, as well as a great shift in your emotional frequency and equilibrium. There is a release of old forms of toxicity, both inner and outer LD messages, experiences, memories, and reactions to physical earth life, which are rising to greet you now as if you had ignored them for centuries, with a force that makes them a palpable presence in the room. 9QMQWBYESD. There is likewise a release of old expectations regarding what ascension means, including doubts that you are ascending, and what the new earth will bring. There is a reordering of your expectations of yourself who may be experiencing a realization of the need for increased self-love and encouragement, for the release of the need to be approved of by others, or the need to argue any point with them. There is a reordering of what you thought you wanted in life and your home, your work, your connections with loved ones as new visions and new understandings come forward. There is also a realization regarding historic moments such as the world governments, for there is one full disclosure about the galactic presence, and the full enactment of NESARA law. These are simply outer indications of an inner frequency. That increasingly higher frequency is the rising Lightworker awareness who are already building the new earth with your very presence, your healing vibration, your rising consciousness, and your belief in justice, freedom, and abundance for all. There is a growing lack of expectation that you need to be rescued, in other words growing realization of your co-creative power in this universe, and a growing acceptance of the tools and practices needed to enact that power, and fully claim it. Yes, there are those who hold out promises of a financial rescue. Invest in this foreign currency or that, for there will soon be a currency revaluation that will make you wealthy. They say. Or they describe a single, one-day event that changes everything upon the earth in an hour or two, rather than an ongoing unfolding of the new earth and NESARA law, such as is already occurring on your planet. There are those who encourage Lightworkers to forget their own power, their own innate abilities, to reach up and claim the insight and wisdom and abundance molding ability of their own divine aspect, and to invest in someone else's insider knowledge that this financial scheme or that event will take care of you. Need to learn how to become captain of your own ship. It's all underway. Buy into it. 12,047,102,074694607534384384935318943N. And indeed, there is a captain of a great ship, and his name is ASHTAR, serving under the Admiral Lord Sanandakumara. And in this sector of the universe, one might say that a very great broom is sweeping clean the earth and the areas around her, weeping out and exposing the criminals and liars who have for so long pretended to represent God, whom they describe as white and male, a deity who not surprisingly looked and sounded just like these presumed rulers, and who was entirely on their side in all matters of religion, state, and war. We assure you, there is no rescue plan. There is only adherence to higher law, universal law, that is the laws of quantum physics, which Earth's people have only just begun to become acquainted with again, or the law of love, and all that falls under it. And as we have said previously, that law of love includes the realization, acceptance, and observance of the sacredness of all paths, of all beings. For in a free will universe, all are free to make their own decisions, both individually and as a people. And you have been denied your right of free will under the duress of mass psychological attacks such as September 11, 2001. Therefore yes, there has been some intervention on the part of the ASHTAR command adhering to universal law, and we are privileged to be a part of such. But understand that when we speak of a new earth, we do not mean an earth somewhat like the one you now live in, but a bit more abundant, and a bit more just, with perhaps in some places, fewer atrocities and human rights abuses. We do not speak of a half measure that includes partial disclosure of Earth's real history, or partial disclosure of her place in this universe, the galactic presence, and all the wars, interplanetary invasions and discord, and energetic disturbances and disruptions that have led you to your present situation. Ship in gray sky. There are no half measures where the new Earth is concerned, and there are no half measures for Lightworkers to grasp and fall back on, just in case. In the paradigm-crushing brilliance of the light that is the solar and lunar eclipse energies you are experiencing this month and next, there are no halfway points. There is only full, complete, powerful beyond measure upheaval and dissolution of the old, so that the new may be built in its place. Certainly, if you wish to live in a rat and termite-infested building created from rotted wood, which has been partially shored up, you may do so, but any builder worth their salt will warn you that partial fixes only work for a very short while, and then in time, you find yourself again in a rotting tenement. This is not the vision of the new earth that you have come here to create and fulfill. This is not even an acceptable vision of renewal for the old earth. It is a vehicle for the continuation of the old, corrupt order that has overseen the destruction of numerous earth communities and whole cultures, and billions of people over the last few centuries, and they will gladly usher in the same, were you to be foolish enough to fall for their deceptions once again. Do not fall under any other dark spells, dear ones, just as you are awakening from the darkest ones Earth has ever seen. Take this astounding light which your inner eyes are daily growing more and more adjusted, and use it to realize every place in your life where you have trusted false prophets. Girl with umbrella, MED. Sit down and speak with your support team and tell them, I require your wisdom. Who do I trust? Who do I vote for? Who do I support? What channels are best for me to listen to, and whom do I avoid as disinformation sources? If I do not hear you inwardly now, then send me the energy of your wisdom and insight. Let me absorb these as my own truth, so that they become my own thoughts, bringing a feeling of rightness into my heart area, that tells me that this is the truth. This is what I must know. As with any area of life, keep asking, until the answers come. Then follow them. For the hour tolls, and the truth unfolds. Know your power to create whatever abundance, freedom, and inner and outer strength you could possibly imagine, and then some. No one hands you that. You create it yourself, working with energy and your fellow Lightworkers, to establish the structure of the new earth. And upon that rock, you shall establish your new earth life, and all the powers of hell shall not prevail against it. Namaste, friends. We are here. Call upon us, for you are never alone.